Just a quick video this week. I have these two pictures of a relatively new student who's allowed me to use his images. Here he is simply holding a stick. In this first image, it's quite clear that his arm is retracted. When I say retracted, I mean it's not extended. The muscles of his upper back and upper arm could be made much longer than they are here, as we can see in the second image. In the starting image, the position felt totally normal to him. That was his baseline conception of what holding a stick meant. Why didn't he start like this? Because, like most people, his habit is to shorten rather than lengthen. This is something F.M. Alexander often mentioned. People react to a stimulus, no matter how simple, by shortening rather than lengthening. The adjustment he makes is of more than just his arm. His whole back is changing because he's using verbal directions to lengthen his back. These directions aren't magical. They're simply an explanation of how to pull certain parts of the body in order to stretch the body into its full length. You can see his sternum has clearly risen. It will be that high all the time once his fascia is used to being taut, as that will prevent this kind of deformation. Now you might think, isn't the extension in his arm because he's moving his arm forward? And that's certainly part of it. This is why we want to generally keep the elbow forward of the front of the rib cage instead of habitually pulling it back as most people do. But here, I have him pull his arm back, and for the most part, he maintains the lengthening of his torso even when his arm is much closer. He's not dropping his rib cage because his arm is pulled in. He's not raising his shoulder considerably, which is what many would do if they weren't thinking it through. So I just wanted to share these images because I think they illustrate the basic concept of what we're doing in a real-life example of a newer student. There is a way to lengthen the torso and arm, and there is a way to shorten the torso and arm. If we know how to lengthen, we can decide to lengthen. Lifting the front of your chest and arching your back doesn't really lengthen you, and it also causes your back to disappear. Whereas lifting the entire rib cage, but especially at the back, since the habit is to drop the back, creates a strong, firm back, and you can then extend your arm, or bring it close, without losing the benefit of your taut fascia. Fascia functions like a spring. It needs due tension. Simple, coordinated movements can make the web of fascia that covers you head to toe taut, and can change the condition of your body in an instant. The trick is to know the right movements. This coordinated movement will challenge and change your muscles and your fascia, but it requires knowledge, the use of your brain, thinking.